No, I'm going to do Billy Joel's You May Be Right. You may be right, but you may be Patreon. Hello, Patreon folks. You've paid your money. You've
been
got
waiting
your
all
show.
this time for that.
Everyone sit back down, enjoy yourself, and have a good time. I'm sorry I've been off for so long. We went off for Christmas. I was in Australia. I did a couple of gigs in Australia. I just filmed a game show in Australia.
How did that go?
And I'm allowed to have the 1% Club. It's coming out. It's all
That's why we were off the air. You were filming a game
I'm telling you, this game show, man, like we give away money. There's people coming on. I had I had 1,000 contestants.
Wow.
So that means I've asked 1,000 people, hey, what would you do with the money? What do you do for a living? A lot of small chat.
Did you find a very similar answer popping up all the time?
Well, yeah, there's a lot of questions that are what number is the next one in this sequence? That's
I meant what people are going to do with the money.
yeah. What are they going to do with the money? People always seem to have like. Okay, so what happened was we had a lot of smart people on the show because we filmed in January, which is summer in Australia, which meant all the kids were on holidays, all the university kids were on holidays, and all the school teachers were on holidays. So we had some smart fucking people. And the show always starts out with like really intelligent, like good-looking people, like who are like, yeah, and it always ends with like some slightly, you know, so like blinky sort of person who's just like I write science novels or whatever, right? And they're the ones that always get to the end, right? And I always look at the good looking like this. Oh, you won't last long, but I don't tell them, you know. But the recording for a game show with 100 contestants takes a really long time, and I just want to thank all these people who are on the show for being so patient. And also,
how long were each of the episodes?
Also,
4 or 5
4
hours?
hours to
Jesus.
record one, and we were doing 2 a day some days, and that was we had to do writing in the morning, all that type of stuff. They were like 12-hour days. And I was like, yeah, if I stopped doing stand-up, one day I could just be a game show host, and I'll just be like Drew Carey, just doing things, and I won't have to travel. And now I'm like, fuck that, I'll do stand-up forever.
He's no longer retiring.
You turned the corner.
Yeah, I turned back, I went, other jobs are hard.
I miss working 1 hour a night.
Forgot how fucking easy stand-up was, man. But yeah, it was really good. I'll tell you more about what's going on in my life. At the moment, I'm sort of shifting a lot in my chair because I have a hemorrhoid the size of a golf ball that's just been rubber banded. And it feels like I constantly
What do you
need
mean
to
rubber banded?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm not familiar with this.
hemorrhoids. Okay, so hemorrhoids, what people really forget about them, it's a varicose vein. So you know when you see like old person that veins going down their leg and they have the surgery. That's what I've got going along my colon. So with each, you know when you see a varicose vein and there's a puffy bit here, a puffy bit here, but they're all there. I've got like 5 or 6, right? And I had a surgery years ago, and it cleared it up for like I had 5 years of freedom. Right, 5 years of anal freedom where I was just shitting like a regular person.
5 years of anal freedom.
Yeah.
Sounds like the best gay porn ever.
No.
Or it's his new special.
It was a sequel to 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah,
right? Because that's how long I had the hemorrhoids. So I was a slave to those things. And then I had 5 years of anal freedom.
Yeah.
And so what happened with the 5 years of anal freedom? After that, I went back to the same doctor, and it's like he's a nice guy. He actually asked, do you do a podcast? I'm going to listen, right? So he's like, as he had his finger up my ass.
Somebody who's
Bring
been
him on for
inside your
hours.
asshole.
He listens to a lot of podcasts. I don't know if I can say his name, but I'll ask him next time because I've got to go back in a couple of weeks to have him checked again.
Is he subscribing to the Patreon?
I tell you what, I'm not meant to know who the guests are, but I'll see if we can get him a guest as a proctologist.
Well, yeah, you'd know once he's on, but we can get him. Yeah.
I can say things about
you
hemorrhoids.
actually don't know what he looks
Regardless,
like.
the only reason that we didn't want you to know the topics is so people couldn't accuse you of studying up on them. But we all know you're not going to study.
I think you're going to crush hemorrhoids.
Yeah, I'm going to crush hemorrhoids, and that's what I'm doing in my colon right now. So I have one the size of a golf ball, and what they do is they get a machine and they go rubber band, and they put a rubber band. So I have a rubber band up my ass right now, and they cut it off. And
A
then
machine does it?
Yeah, well, he's not doing it with his hands. He's not like
they call him the machine.
He's not like stretching
Open wide.
like it's an apparatus. It's not like a machine. Like I am here to do your hemorrhoids. It's like an apparatus.
It's like a t-shirt gun.
Yeah.
Rubber band in there.
Yeah, it's like they put in those calipers that women get in for their vaginas, their front bums, right?
Yeah.
They get that and they widen up a bit, and then they get this thing, and it goes. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see what's going on. This is what I assume.
Naturally, yeah.
He's talking to me about the podcast, and then he gets the rubber band, and he puts it over the hemorrhoid, and then he goes, yeah, you feel like you need to poo, don't you? And I went, yeah. And he goes, that's because the hemorrhoid's all up like this, and it's all squeezed up. So my colon's like this. There's a big poo in there all the time, right? There's a big poo in there, but you don't want to have a poo because you have to push the poo past the golf ball swollen. Like the shits are agony right now, and you can't take blood thinning.
I saw a goat one time that had a rubber band around its balls. That's how they
Yeah,
the same thing.
So eventually, but it's like I have a wart that they keep on trying to freeze and it never falls off. This is like 70-80% successful. I can't see my body being good to me and
why
giving
do you
up.
think your body has so many hemorrhoids? I haven't taken care of myself. I don't have hemorrhoids.
I'm just susceptible. Why do some people need glasses earlier than others? I just have a fucking not the greatest arsehole.
Fat cells every week.
I take Metamucil like most people drink water.
Yeah.
Right? I'm fucking.
What about those gummies?
I take the gummy.
My mom took those fiber gummies because when she was like near the end of her life, she had so many painkillers she had to take fiber, and she took the fiber gummies are good.
I take the fiber gummies like fucking Tic Tacs, man. I'm fucking popping. I have so much fiber in my body right now.
You got to keep those away from the kids though, because otherwise they'll be like,
I can't fart. Well, I've got other gummies in the house that are more dangerous to children.
You've got weed gummies, fiber gummies. And
I've got vitamin gummies, weed gummies, and fiber gummies. Yeah. I'm all gummied up. I'm on a full gummy diet, right? But so I'm waiting for this thing to pop off, and it's pushing against my prostate, and so I always feel like I need to piss, and I always feel like I need to shit, and so it's been a trip, man. But I did that as soon as I came home to America. I went, all right, I'll go see the arse doctor.
Yeah.
And that's responsible.
Yeah, he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy. The way that his job is like,
dirty.
He puts his finger up asses all the time. And I don't have the best looking one. And I know, and like I said to him, I said, was it big? And he goes, they don't get bigger.
And you felt proud, didn't you?
No, I was like, fuck. I was hoping you'd go, oh, that's just a little one, no problem. He's like, nah, they don't get bigger.
Gotta get
He goes, I've seen plenty that big. He goes, it's not abnormal, but they don't get bigger. That's as big as they get. Jeez. And I'm like, okay, all right. Then I'll just wait for it to fall off with the rubber band.
How long does it take to fall off?
1 to 2 weeks for it to fall off and to shrivel up, but like it's getting better each day because
you said there's more than one in there.
No. Once I finish that one, I've got to go back for 3 more.
Rubber band 3 more?
Yeah, but they can only rubber band 1 at a time, right? So
they only have so many rubber bands.
I'm on a program. Each time I go in, he pumps a little card for me, and the 5th hemorrhoid's free.
And where does the rubber band go? It just goes in the toilet?
Yeah, you'll shit it out once it falls off.
You wash it off.
Once it falls out, it'll just fall out of your ass. It's only a little tiny rubber band.
Put it on a popsicle stick, like your teeth. Yeah.
I don't know. I have been looking for it. After each poo, I have a look for it. And then he said to me on the way out, he goes, oh, by the way, this happens like 1 in 50 people, but if you start bleeding uncontrollably out of your ass, doesn't matter what time of day, you call me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I'll call you. And what are you going to do? Just support me?
It's going to be okay.
Well, I think they're going to...
They're going to tell me to go to an emergency room or shove some cotton wool buds up my ass or something.
Yeah, just put a
probably emergency room.
Yeah. Probably emergency room, and that's always a fun chat.
Yeah. I got a CAT scan of my heart done. Because remember I had all this shit with my head?
Yeah, you couldn't stand
They're
up.
trying to figure out all this stuff. Well... Turns out I need to lose weight, probably, but I don't know.
What, you had a fat head?
No,
why was your head?
It was intracranial pressure in my head, and probably caused by being overweight. But while they were running all these other tests, I went to a cardiologist, and they was like, "We're going to run every test," and then they did the stress test where you run with your shirt off, all those things, just in front of some women there, and they just look at you.
That is stressful.
Yeah. I passed that, no problem. Very comfortable with my body.
They came back with results, no shame.
Yeah. No. Wow. And then they did a bunch of other stuff, and then he goes, I think you're fine. By the way, when I went into that waiting room, it's all like 80, 90-year-olds. And then I walked in, everyone looked at me like, what the fuck is this guy doing in here? And so I felt like I was like being a, what do you call it? Like a hypochondriac. But anyways, I just figured, whatever, let's get it tested. And so they did, the last thing he goes, I think we're not going to see anything. We're going to do a CAT scan of your heart. And they look for any blockages and all that stuff. And he goes, I just talked to him literally today. He goes, there's nothing. There's no calcium. There's nothing. He goes, it's 0. I go, so when should I see you again? He goes, like 20 years. And I go, 20? He goes, yeah, just live your life. He goes, get in shape, like be healthy. I go, So I remember my mom had a good heart and her dad had just statistically in the family, we've had, for the most part, good hearts. My grandmother had a heart attack. But then part of me was like, I thought I was going to die much earlier. now I really have to start saving more money.
I didn't put enough aside.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
longevity.
I was like, I thought it was gonna be 5 or 6 more years. So I was like, it was almost like it was good news, bad news. I was like, wow, I really gotta.
Right. So I'll tell you a fun little story about Christmas. Ready?
Ooh.
Okay, you haven't seen me since Christmas. I literally haven't seen Kelly since before. This is the first time.
Yeah, I saw you, but right before Christmas. Yeah.
So we all know my wife. My wife is of Indian descent, right?
Yes.
And my father-in-law is an Indian man, right? Uh-huh. But he's a Cockney bloke. He grew up. He came from Guyana, where the Indian slave trade.
I can't do the impression.
Yeah, but he's Derek.
Yeah.
Derek's always like, all right there, Jim. Oh, good on you. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, that looks nice.
Yeah.
He's always fascinated by everything, Derek. He's always just like this. Oh, wow. Like, yeah, he's a really sweet guy. Anyway, so my dad is about to meet Derek. So the two granddads are about to meet
They've
each other.
talked on the phone, right?
They've seen each other on the phone. The first time they saw each other on the phone, my dad was shirtless, laying back in his lazy boy with a Guinness on his stomach. And he, I didn't know I was going to see anyone. Right? Anyway, so we had this big Christmas with all the family, and so I go. So my dad's name's Gary. His name's Derek, right? And so my dad goes, "What's his name again?" And before we got there, he was getting all ready, right? I said, his name's Derek. And my dad's like this, right, Daruk. And I'm like, no, he's trying to Indian it up, right? He's like, so when's Daruk coming? And I'm like, no, his name's just fucking Derek, Dad. It's just Derek, good old-fashioned Derek.
So easy.
And Daruk.
He's saying Daruk because he thinks.
No, he thinks that's how it'd be pronounced.
Sure,
And-
yeah.
He's like, Derek sounds white. This doesn't go together.
Yeah, you got to go see Daruk, right? And so he comes in, so they see each other. So my dad's Gary, and then there's Derek, right? And we all watched them. Everyone in the family was a bit tense when this meeting happened. We wonder how this will go down, right? Because they're both interesting cats, these two fellas, right? Mm-hmm. And they walk in, and then my dad goes, "Hello, Eric," right? So he just called him Eric, right? And then Derek goes, "Hello, Terry." They both got it wrong.
Which is fine.
And no one was making a joke. And for the rest of the holiday, they just called each other Terry and Eric. And so I'm like, I'm all right with that. So now I just call them both Terry and Eric.
Never got corrected?
No, Dad. I kept on going to him and I said, it's Derek, Dad. Eric.
Honestly, Eric is so much closer than Daruk, so...
Oh, yeah.
Give him Eric. Yeah.
Terry rhymes with Gary.
Yeah. And they both sort of dirty old men, right? They're not like terrible blokes, but they both bonded over. They used to watch The Chase, right? The Chase is on every day in
such a good
Australia,
show.
right? Yeah. But they have a new girl in The Chase, one of the geniuses, and she's about 27, and she's a very good-looking blonde girl who always wears like a bow in her hair or something like that. And if she was on, the comments we heard from these two old blokes, oh, she's smart, she's got lovely legs, and they've got the horn for this bird more than anyone you've ever fucking met. And so we'd all watch the fucking Chase every afternoon, and all the British side of the family, all my wife's side of the family, they decided that the Chase questions in Australia were dumber than that of the British one. There was some snobbery going on. Oh, the British episodes, the questions are way harder. And it's like, all right, we'll fucking test you. None of them got the bloody questions right. They didn't know.
Oh, they just thought they were.
Yeah, they just thought they were. They were looking down on dumbass Australians.
Because the accent's not as smart.
Yeah, no. We don't sound like we're intelligent, and that's what doing the game show is, man. There were times when, like, you know, because there's edit points in the show. Of course, it's a game show. So if I fuck up a question, this happens on any game show. If I fuck up a question, they pause and
Right.
you know, you get to read it again or something like that. But there were questions that were so difficult on the 1% Club that even when I read out the answer, I was just reading. I didn't know what the fuck we were talking about. I was like, what month has the most days minus by this? And I go, so the answer is 566, because if you times August by the 13th and then you minus it by the thing and then you add on the second month of the year, 6333. And I'm like this. All right. At no stage did my brain, even after seeing the answer, understood why the answer was the answer. I'm
No questions, please.
Yeah,
It's just the fucking answer.
And so what would happen on the show is you'd have like 100 contestants, and then like.
But did you not see the answers until?
I'd read the questions before I went out there. I still didn't.
Why didn't you have somebody explain it to you then?
Because what am I going to do, man? Because the explanation's right there.
I know, but Amos was there. You could have been like Amos.
Amos, fuck Amos. Amos didn't understand shit.
Okay.
Well, Amos got in trouble for saying something stupid every day.
Okay.
Every day he's like, I can't sit in that booth anymore. I said something stupid.
Okay. All right. Well,
He was meant to feed me jokes through me. He came up with one joke. I could probably say it. I'm not meant to say things happen on the show, but he gave me one joke that was like elite, where I was like, "All right, Amos, you've earned your money for this week." And it was there was a girl who was like, "I go, what do you do for fun?" She goes, "I write I write sex novels,
Like
erotic novels that are mysteries. So it's a mystery." It's a mystery.
Who's in my ass?
But there's also sex involved. And all I could hear was Amos in my ear like this. Agatha Christie. Agatha Christie.
That actually feels dangerous that you had Amos in your ear.
Agatha Christie. Oh no, it's dangerous having Amos in your ear because you walk up to someone, you go, "Hey, what's your name? How you doing?" He's like, "Don't mention she's fat." Okay.
And that's the only thing you want to mention.
I wasn't really thinking about it.
yeah, if they say that, you're automatically like, "What? That's in my head already." Hey, you look great.
You don't look fat.
Body
at all.
positive.
Yeah, but that's all. Yeah. So me and Amos would do these long days, and then we'd finish the day, and we'd fucking we'd watch a bit of telly and get high, illegally get high there in Australia. I don't know if I've just said something
Bad
wrong.
boys.
I'm probably going to lose me whole fucking street
High
cred.
off of laughter.
Yeah, life.
Yeah.
No, it was weed. It was weed.
Oh,
Okay. Gummies.
Yeah.
fiber
You
gummies.
remember the gummies we did in Bangkok, which is legal there now.
Legal in Bangkok.
But it was funny. We said when a friend of a friend's owned a dispensary there, and so when we checked in, they were like, it was waiting for us in the hotel, which was nice that we didn't have to go through the rigmarole. And you said it was very funny. I've told people this. Jim goes, so there was like just these jars of gummies, and there were just these worms.
Like worms.
But there wasn't, here is like child seals, and this is just like the thing you just open. Right, there wasn't even a seal. It just
It's just
opened
a
right
jar.
and it was worms. But Jim looked at it and goes, "This looks like drugs." Like it wasn't like pretty, and it wasn't like well formed. So it was just like a dirty looking worm. Like gummy worm.
I felt dangerous.
Yeah, you were like, it was like a brown gummy worm. And you're like, is that?
And then like they're just selling weed in the streets now in Bangkok, like from street vendors.
Yeah.
Like a guy who sells like fake watches
Right.
Yeah,
and weed.
yeah.
I remember my favourite fake watch thing ever. I think I've told this before. Is when Jack got his fake watch in Thailand.
We went back to that area.
Yeah, we went back there.
yeah? All
and
right.
so Jack comes up to me and he goes, he shows me, I own a couple of Rolexes, right? And Jack walks up to me and he goes, "What do you think of that? What do you think of that?" And he goes, "Do you think people will be able to tell it's a fake?" And I go, "Well, it is the only Rolex with a leather strap."
Is that it?
It's not. It looks like this, but my Rolex, the numbers all started falling off.
Well, yeah. What'd you get for $30?
Maybe not even that. It was so cheap.
Because we were sitting there, Jim and JJ and I were sitting there, and we sat in the very end of this one area, like this one strip there, and we had like 3 different watch guys come by, and they like have a calculator and they just keep going, tick, 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 tick. How about that, and they keep like going lower and lower and lower, and it does look good at first, but I'm sure it's like a year in.
Oh yeah, no,
Everything just starts
they're very convincing fakes, but you can tell just the weight of them and the things. But there was one guy put up a Daytona, and he's like this, and he goes, "Look at this," and he spins the bezel like this, right? Daytona's bezels don't spin.
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, this one spins.
Yeah, you even said, it's not supposed to spin. He goes, but it does spin. It was like, extra.
So it's nicer. It's nicer.
It was fun.
Well, speaking of Jack, you went on Nick Viall's podcast and pitched him to be on The Bachelor, and Jack's had some success.
I say, my wife would love for me to be on The Bachelor, actually. My wife would be, because me and my wife have chatted about if I was on The Bachelor, how would I approach it, right? And this is how I'd approach
Wait,
it.
she'd love for you to be on The Bachelor as a married.
Yeah, she just would just like to see me on TV doing it.
Yeah, okay.
She doesn't
She
want
just
me-
wants you to get work.
She wants me. She
That'd
wants
be
me.
the big reveal.
She
It's
wants
like,
me
he's
to
in a relationship.
She wants me to get knocked out in the first round,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
She doesn't want me to kiss the girl or anything, but she'd like to see me up there. And so it's like I'll go for a chat with her. This is how I'd play The Bachelor. I'd go have a chat with the girl, right? And then I'd come back and the guys would be like, "Hey, you talked to her? How did it go?" And I'd be like, talk to her. We just had sex. And she said that you all look like homosexuals. passing on the information. That's just what happened.
Just don't get your hopes up, guys.
Are you disrespecting her? Disrespecting her? You should have seen how she rode my cock.
I respected the shit out of her.
We had so much sex. And then when she comes out like this, she go like this. Have you been telling everyone that we had sex? I'd be like, why are you lying? We had so much sex. And then I'd be knocked off the show. I'd be walking home going, I don't know what the confusion is. I stand by my story.
It happened. You can check the tapes.
Yeah. So wait, so you were on with Nick Vile's podcast, right?
Nick Vile's
Yeah.
podcast, and then we were talking about the podcast. I was very sleepy. I'd just been jet lagged and everything. And Jack was there, and I said, "Hey, Jack," I said, I reckon Jack's the right age to be on the podcast. Like the Bachelor's younger than him.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks 10 years older.
He looks like a man.
Yeah.
He doesn't look 10 years older. He looks like a fully formed adult. Right? Anyway, so Jack, I was like, because Jack can't go straight into being the Bachelor. He has to be one of the contestants.
Sure, yeah.
And I know all the moves, right? I know how to get far in the show, the things you have to say. Also, I put it, how long do you reckon you keep like quad or something on the Bachelor? Like if they're one of the contestants was in a wheelchair, right? You have to keep them until the final four, right?
Right before hometown.
Yeah.
Because you can't meet the family.
Yeah, you can't kick them out first go.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like if there's an ethnicity that you're not into, you can't kick them out right away. You've got to wait a few rounds, and we've seen that happen over the different
Wait,
shows.
so Jackson in a wheelchair?
I'm just saying.
Could work.
If we put him in a wheelchair, he's going to last rounds.
Yeah.
He can get drunk and wheel into people and be a complete arsehole. They're not knocking him out first round. He can just be an arsehole.
Yeah, that would work.
Anyway, but that's one of the options. This is going to happen. Anyway, so I said Jack has to be on the show. And then I said I stand by this. He dresses well.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the sweetest people I've ever met.
Yeah.
He's ambitious and he's going to go far in life.
Musician.
He can play. He's in a band.
Yeah, he didn't make fun of him one
Yeah,
time.
he's-
No, it was a very nice
really nice.
experience.
Your nicest experience with Jim ever?
Yeah, he's
They were guessing somebody else's home.
he's in a band and he can play golf well. What woman wouldn't like that? And I said, slide into your DMs. And what happened, Jack?
Bunch of people slid into those DMs.
Women. All women?
Women.
Yeah,
all
300
women.
followers
300 new
from that
followers, bunch of new
appearance.
messages. It's honestly overwhelming, but I'm figuring it out.
He sent me a screenshot. One girl just sent an emoji of a water slide.
Slide.
Yeah,
I like that.
like fucking get in.
I actually I gave Nolan Gould a call. I was like, can you give me advice on DMs? I don't know what to do. So I talked to him for like 30 minutes and he gave me some tips.
And has any of these paid off?
No.
Wait, what? Are you going to try and get on the show?
Nick said that he could
So you
talk
just
to
have
the
just
casting
talk to Nick
people.
about it because I don't know
Yeah.
the casting people.
Yeah,
but
yeah. He can throw in a word for you and try and get you on
But
there.
he did say that Jack was a little short. They
Too
like
short.
they like
Okay.
people that are 6'2".
Go
I'll
on.
talk-
Let's
I'll
go
talk-
online right now and put in an application for
Okay.
Jack to be on The
I'll do
Bachelor.
that this weekend for sure.
all right.
Well, what's don't talk about the president. You got to go to the Bachelor because they're advertising
No,
right
I'm
now.
not gonna do it.
We need Bachelor because now at the moment they're in Bachelorette season.
Yeah.
This is the
No, they're in
season.
Bachelor
We
season,
won't
yeah.
have another
Yeah.
we won't have another chance for 2 more years if we don't strike now.
Yeah, and we get a recommendation from Nick.
I think what
Yeah?
I'll do is I'll
Yeah.
just text Nick and say, "Hey, submit Jack."
And I will 100% be on the show and do like one of those
Yeah,
things
you gotta
like
do an
Jim's
improv
coming
date.
out to help him all out how to do
Yeah.
stand up, and I'll
Yeah.
be like one of those people. All right, boys, we're gonna take you through it. Like
Gotta be
that.
a bad
Girls
bitch.
love a guy who's funny.
Yeah. Girls love a guy who's funny. Allegedly.
Well, what's going to happen? What are you on any dates?
If they were in the city, sure.
Yeah.
You
So
don't-
have you been talking to people?
This is the
like,
thing.
how are
Get
your
on an
discussions
airplane.
This is the
going?
thing is
I'm not
you,
getting on a plane.
you keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
There'll be
Yeah.
a time that I have a gig and you'll be like, "Where are you going, Jim?" And I'll be like, "Cleveland." You'll be like, "Can I come?"
Cleveland.
Yeah,
I have
what-
6
Can I
in
come?
Cleveland.
What cities?
Figuring that out.
Women,
I know, but you look at Jim's calendar.
Okay, this is one night stands.
him, yeah.
One night stands
Ben
are
Salem,
at,
Pennsylvania?
are at their optimum.
So many have been Salem.
At their optimum, if you are just coming into town for a night, because
Yeah.
there's no fucking around. They know, and also, if you've been talking to them for a while, they'll know you. So keep talking to these girls. If you're in there for a night, and also if they're in LA for a night, I know a guy,
Yep.
right? And so then you're in for that. So one of these girls that for out of town, it'll pay off. It'll happen.
I'm working on it. I'm keeping the conversations going.
All right.
I'm gonna be his manager.
Yeah. Kelly, here's my Instagram. Good luck.
I'll just respond to all the DMs.
This should be our podcast all the time. We're hilarious. We just
fast.
Instead, we're talking about sensible things all the time. We have to book guests.
Well, we did
People that
one.
are
We did
smarter
one.
than
We did
us.
one on Scientology today. It got a little heavy, but it's.
Oh no, but that's the thing is I can only.
What's that?
Is this coming out tomorrow?
No, I'm
I
gonna
don't
put this
know.
out. I'm gonna
It's
put this
alright.
out. We're gonna be on schedule with these things, so this
okay.
will come out afterwards. So, do you have any thoughts on
Yeah.
Scientology?
Oh yeah, the Patreon's going to be. You could bang a Scientologist chick if there was the hottest chick ever, but you had to join Scientology, but she's the one you get to bang.
No,
on.
no.
The hottest chick ever.
Never. I don't care.
Just one sex, one time.
No, I'm not joining Scientology.
That would be worth it to you
Call your
guys to
penis
have to
Xenu?
join
Absolutely not.
Scientology to have sex
Absolutely
with a
not.
hot girl?
No, I'm not going to join.
There's women who had sex with Tom Hanks who were already famous, who did a bit of Scientology on the side.
Yeah, but I don't think that was to have sex with him or because he was hot. It was because he was powerful and had a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's worth more than being
I'm
hot.
not joining Scientology.
You would
for
have to
anything.
join forever 2 years.
No, not worth it. Would you?
I don't need to. My wife's already hot, man.
Cop out. Let's say you weren't married. Let's say you're my age.
Yeah, all day. 2 years, and I get to bang the hottest chick ever. Hottest chick
Just
ever.
once, though?
She's no. She's with me the 2 years.
for
I'm in
2
Scientology.
years.
She's with me, and I have to do all this stuff. I have to run around a pole in the dark.
But how are you
and-
gonna get out of Scientology unscathed? That's gonna be like horrible.
There's
afterwards.
there's no 10 that you'll ever fuck that you get out of it unscathed, Jack. That shows how little relationship you've been in. You think you get out of fucking a hot chick unscathed? There's scars all over me.
Yeah,
He's
the
got rubber
hemorrhoids.
bands in his asshole.
Yeah, I
for
got
God's
remember,
sakes.
but the things they make you do, the hot chicks.
Oh man.
Brutal. You look at my bank account, you can see moments that hot chicks have come into my life.
Yeah, you put a graph together. You're like, I'm not gonna say any names. But yeah.
IRS is the biggest hot chick around. What? The IRS?
The IRS is the biggest hot chick. You're missing this whole conversation.
What do you mean?
That's the ugly chick who fucks you over. Okay, I don't know.
You said look at your bank account. Every time there's a big chunk, that's when the hot chick.
No, but it's not because of taxes.
Yeah, I know, but that would be a big chunk when money would come out.
Oh, yeah, all right. It was a weak premise at best.
Well, sorry, I know your finance.
I'm upset. Slide into his DMs, girl. Slide into his DMs.
Make it up to him.
Yeah,
I think we only have a couple minutes left.
let's
I don't
see how
know.
his chat is.
I think. Oh yeah, we could look at your chat.
No,
Okay.
not open myself up for that.
No, I won't say anything, but give us a look.
Nope.
I won't say nothing.
Just one.
Nope.
What, can we see a picture?
Nope.
The slide picture?
Yeah, but we'll do it like this. We'll do it like this.
The
so they
woman,
won't
we can't see what she
Nope.
looks like. The water slide lady.
Nope. Not open. I'm already starting to sweat. Nope.
Okay.
Oh, fucking hell.
Well, this is when we usually would do like some sort of game or activity.
I can
but
show
we don't
you.
know if we
I
have
can
enough
show
time
you.
for that.
There would be
I can
time
show
to
you
do
a
that.
text that my wife sent me.
Yeah, you want to
I
see
know.
some
I already.
pics?
I already talked too much around.
Yeah, you want to see some
Picking
things that
up-
women have sent me?
Picking up Hank from school.
Oh.
Yeah. I got some stuff. You want to see some of mine?
No. You sent me those too.
Didn't I call you one time when I was
Yeah.
getting a foot massage?
Yeah, you're
What
like-
was it like?
You said you were getting a completely naked foot massage from a hot lawyer, and
that's a bit-
you just called me just to brag.
Too
There was
many-
there was
too
no
many
info.
details.
Oh yeah, I'm still friends with her.
I
Yeah.
actually got a nude
Yeah.
from DJ Qualls right before we got here.
From
Did
DJ
you?
Qualls.
Yeah.
DJ was texting me today. Oh, DJ was
It's a picture
texting.
of a naked dude on the beach, and he said he's wearing Oakleys.
Ick.
I thought it was a nude of him.
That's
Okay.
what my dad watches. My dad watches Love Island, right?
Oh, I'm sure he's loving
Yeah, so
that.
I didn't know all the terms. Right? So my dad, because he doesn't watch the porn, so he watches Love Island, right? And it was on, and my nieces were there, and they were like, "Oh, we want to watch Love Island." These are like 19-year-old, 20-year-old girls, my nieces, right? And then my dad's like, "Oh yeah, Love Island." And I'm like, "How do you fucking know about Love Island?" And he's like, "That one there's a fuck boy." And he goes, and he gives her the ick. Now, a weird thing that I found out from me being on a game show and not living in Australia for almost 25 years, right? Almost 25. Yeah, 25 years I haven't lived in Australia. My Australian lingo has been stinted. I'm like,
course, yeah.
I'm like that movie Blast from the Past, where the guy comes out of the bunker and he still has manners and
Brendan
stuff. And
Fraser.
yeah, he knows how to waltz and shit, right? They reckon that I'm like listening to an 80-year-old bloke on Australian TV. I'm like, all right, well, you guys give it a good go. Have a rally on the drums. Here we go.
You just say rally on the drums. I'm not even knowing Australian lingo. I could tell that's old. Rally on the drums.
I don't even know that. What is it supposed to mean?
Well, I'm going to bring it back, rally on the drums. It's way older than me. It's old. Okay, so in Queensland, when my dad was young, so the 1950s, they used to have boxing tents, right? Where they'd travel around to the country towns and they'd have boxes there, and then they'd let all the men get liquored up in the town, right, in a beer garden, and then they'd go, who here wants to fight my boy? Look at him, he's a middleweight, but he'll take on a heavyweight. Who here thinks he can do it? Then some drunk arsehole will go, I fucking think I could punch that cunt out, fucking give me a go. And then they get there, and then the professional boxer knocks him out. But as the bloke's going into the tent, right, to fight this bloke, they go, give him a rally on the drums, and there's a guy with a drum that goes boom, 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 boom to hype up the crowd, right? And so my dad always used to say that to me, like, like, here he is, he's a likely lad, he's going to do some stand-up, give him a rally on the drums. So it's something my dad says, because he's really old school. And I don't think Australians still know that term, but I've started saying it on the game show.
Bring it back.
And all the executives are like, what is this? And I go, every time I say it, everyone starts clapping. I go, oh, here we go, here's Sally, give her a rally on the drums. And everyone just...
They're like, context clues, we're figuring it out.
Yeah, for whatever reason, they're just like, give them a rally on the drums. It's all right. So that's what I say now. Give them a rally on the drums.
I like it.
All right, well, that's the end.
Give them what they want. Give them a rally on the drums.
That's
Thanks.
the next tour name.
We're back, everybody. Thanks for being patient, some of you.
Good night, everyone.